2016 Hyundai Elantra FleetBold hardwired tractor. First, grab the pry tool, pry along here. Pop this out. Pry this all the way up. This comes off. Tug on this. This comes off. Put that to the side. Same thing on the other side. Pry it. Pry all this. Pry this off. Boop, boop, boop all the way up. This will come out. Now you got these screws right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take those out so we can get to the radio. So once you loosen off 4 of these screws here and here, this pulls out. Pull it to the side. Same thing over here. Pull it out. Put it to the side. Now you can take out this unit. Jiggle this a little bit here. This comes down. Now you have the radio. Move this around. We have all the radio wires. In my case, I have an aftermarket radio, and this is the aftermarket wire harness right here. I don't want that. I want to take my power from the original wire harness here. It's going to be this one. I'm going to clean this up, unplug this right here, and look for constant power and accessory power. Now we need this little tool right here. We're going to be looking for constant power and the switches. There's 2 switches. You could check. You could run this through here. All here. There's no power throughout here with the car off. So I'm jumping here. The car is off. And this one, there's constant power right here. So that is gonna be the red wire is constant power. With the car off, red is gonna be the first one, which when you follows it back, it's the red wire. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the key, put the key in the ignition, So with the key off, the only one that has power is going to be that first one, which is the red one. Now I'm going to turn the key to accessory. When I turn the key, I check again. Now these two have power, which is this one was constant power, and now when I turn the key, this one turns on, which is when you follow it to the plug is going to be this green wire. So the green wire is the accessory wire, the red wire is the constant power wire, and these 2 wires are going to get spliced into the GPS hardwired kit, which is on the kit is the yellow and orange wire. So this red wire right here is the live constant power wire. This green wire right here is the accessory wire. Okay, so these are the 2 wires we're using. This green one is the constant power. This green one is the accessory wire. You know, car off, you plug it in there, it turns on. That means constant power. On the green wire, you plug it in there, there's no power at all whatsoever until you turn the key in the ignition. So put the key, turn the key in the ignition. Now when you put it in there, it turns on. Accessory, meaning green is the accessory, red is the constant power. And here on the hardware, this is the hardware kit. It comes with 4 wires. Black wire is going to be your ground. This black wire comes with this right here is going to be your ground. You bolt this up somewhere in the chassis where it's touching metal. It has a nice little, let me see, 10mm bolt around there that I'm going to make sure this is fastened to. Now we're coming to these other 3 wires that I got right here. These other 3 wires, this yellow wire, we're going to put it aside right now. This is going to get fed to the ignition for the kill switch. This yellow wire is for the kill switch later on. Right now we're dealing with this orange wire and the red wire. So the red wire is going to get spliced into the red wire on the radio, and the orange wire, this orange wire is going to get spliced on to the green wire. I'm going to do that shortly so you can see how that comes out. So everything's all spliced up. Here we have the green wire spliced up to the orange wire from the hardware, and then we got this red wire spliced up with the red wire from the hardware. And then I have that ground switch. I ran it down, and I ran it down. See if you can see it in there. Okay, right there. I put the ground right there with that 10mm bolt, so that's onto this metal chassis there for the ground. Now I'm just gonna electric tape that up, get everything real nice, plug that back into the radio, and we're gonna leave this yellow wire tucked down into here so we can bring it out to get it to the ignition. And then we're gonna use this piece that comes with the hardware, and this is gonna get wired up to the ignition, and we're gonna use this extra yellow wire that we had left over from the hardware kit. Okay, I electric taped everything here. We got the green wire wired up with the orange wire, or the orange wire spliced into the green wire, and then we got the red wire from the hardware spliced up with the red wire from the radio switch, all nice taped up. We got the black ground wire grounded down there. Now we're gonna get the tracker itself, put the double-sided tape that it has here, tuck it up here, and tuck it up on there. I bunched up all the wires together and just taped everything together. The hardware tracker, make sure it's plugged in. I tucked it up in there. Make sure you got the right side up. It tells you what side to put it up. Bunch this up. I'm gonna tuck this behind the radio. Now the yellow wire, make sure you tuck it down far enough so it can come out. Now we're gonna be messing with the ignition switch and the yellow wire. We're gonna take this apart and hook this up and put this back together. It looks like a mess, but it's not that bad. Yep, put everything back together the same way you took it apart. It'll go right back together real nice. Now we got this kill switch hanging here. Now we're gonna take this apart. It has a Phillip under here. There's two Phillips, one right here. Turn the wheel. There's gonna be another one right there. After you take out those two screws, stick the plastic pry tool in here, pry that open, pry this here, pry that. This should come down. Turn the key off. So here you have the ignition with the kill switch wire sticking out of here. I already found, or you want to find this main ignition plug. The main ignition plug, strip out the tape that's here so you can open up all these wires, and there's going to be 6 wires here. What the wire you want is the direct power wire here to the ignition, which is the red wire. I already found it. If you was to use the tester, here, it's the red wire. I cut it in half, as you can see here. If you use the tester, you can see that it turns on. So again, this red wire on the main ignition switch is gonna get cut in two. Then you're gonna get the kill switch. The kill switch separates a green wire. The green wire gets together with this yellow wire, and it gets plugged into the red wire they're still connected to the wire harness. The other green wire gets connected to the other side of that red wire that goes to where the plug is. So the single green wire gets connected to where the red wire to where the plug is. The other green wire is with this yellow wire, and they both get connected to the other side of the red wire where the wire harness is at. And then that gives this white wire left over, and you want to connect this white wire to the hardware kill switch wire that you took out, hopefully out of the radio. So yeah, again, this single green wire gets spliced in. Well, you cut the red main wire in half, and you single wire to the red wire to the plug. The other side of that red wire, where the wire harness is coming out, is gonna get the green and the yellow wire together into the red wire, and then that's gonna have the kill switch right here, and the white wire is gonna get connected to the yellow wire for the tracker. Now you just take this up real nice. Again, you got the plug right there, the red wire that you cut in half, the other side of the red wire, single green wire. The green wire with the yellow wire goes into the other side of the red wire. Then you got this white wire that's left over out of here. It gets hooked up with the yellow wire from the tracker. Tape all this up, and everything should be working perfect. So we're here once again. The main ignition switch is right here under the steering column. You grab this, the red wire is the wire that you're looking for. You cut it in half. Now you got the kill switch. The kill switch has 4 wires. One of the green wires, you wire up one of the green wires with the yellow wire, and you connect that to the wire that you cut coming from the harness. Then the other side is the green wire. You connect it to the side which is coming from the plug. Now you have this extra white wire left. You just wire that up with that single wire that was left over from the hardware. Once you tape this up like this, tape it up, tape everything up real nice, tuck everything back up there, and it will be good as new.